Welcome to the University of Guam and to the first in Robert Underwood's Presidential Lecture Series. And of course, featured tonight we have Chair of the House Armed Services Committee, Ike Skelton. And Guam Congresswoman Madeleine Bordalia. And also a round of applause for our President, Dr. Robert Underwood, and the We also have joining us tonight the Consul General from Korea, Chong Il-lee, the Consul General from Japan, Kamino, the Consul General from Taiwan, Vince Tsai, and the Deputy Consul, Bruce Hunt. We have Justice Philip Carbolito with us, along with Justice Catherine Merriman, also an adjunct here at the University of Guam, and Judge Anita Sokola, who also teaches law. We have Senator Espaldon, and from our Board of Regents, we have Eliza Anderson. We have General Vice from JIGPO, and also joining us is Captain Miller, Commander of the Naval Regional Medical Center. And we also have the Chief of Police, Paul Cuba. Thank you for joining us tonight, and now I would like to introduce the 10th President of the University of Guam, Robert Underwood.
Thank you so much. I don't know if she was introduced, but President Mario Pata from the He's so close to us, we just think we work together all the time. The chairman of the House Armed Services Committee, the Honorable Ike Skelton, has been a member of the U.S. Congress since 1977. This means that he has known all four delegates from Guam, including Mr. Wampak, General Blanc, myself, and of course Congresswoman Bordalia. He has been a mentor to all of us, and I will not ask him which one was his favorite. He represents the 4th District of Missouri, and when you are a member of any activity he is responsible for, you learn quickly to call it Missouri. This includes the capital city of Jefferson City and major military facilities. He invited me to go on my very first congressional delegation, and we visited Europe, and we all learned a lot from the chairman. I also learned that he knew a man by the name of Dickie Elliott, who was my father's first cousin, as a fellow student at Wentworth Military Academy. From that early Guam connection, he has made his presence felt here in Guam through countless military authorization provisions in legislative form that most of us are unfamiliar with, but certainly Congresswoman Bordalia and myself are very familiar with. He has been the senior Democrat on the committee since 1999 and became chair in the last Congress. Congressman Skelton is a strategic thinker whose ideas are grounded in the day-to-day understanding of military operations. He wants to know what is being experienced by the ordinary sailor, soldier, marine, or airman. He also has a firm grasp of military history and frequently informs us about how great military minds of the past made decisions that shape our present. He understands, as we learn through his own words, that the United States is the, quote, indispensable nation, unquote, in world affairs since World War II. But he has also clearly called for a national strategy that reestablishes America's credibility in the world's eyes, to reinvigorate the belief that the United States is a credible and just nation, and that we intend our efforts to serve interests beyond our own. Throughout all the complications of national strategic alliance, performance, budgeting, and the Pentagon, the push for more interagency cooperation abroad, he remains the very best friend of every person in uniform. He is a tireless advocate of quality of life issues for service personnel and ensuring that our officer corps remains well educated and well-rounded and not just well-trained. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and honor to introduce the Honorable Ike Skelton. Welcome to the University of Guam.
Thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate this wonderful introduction. I can, after hearing the introduction, I can hardly wait to hear what I'm going to say. I very much for it. You know, Bob's been such a good friend through the years. We've been together, and it's a thrill to be here at his university. And it's also a double thrill to be with Val Cordell, who's on the Arts Big with us. And we're traveling together. This is not our first trip together. As a matter of fact, I've got to say, she loves Guam. Intensely, she loves Guam. I guess it was about 3 years ago, we had scheduled a stop over here for a quick lesson on the way to the Far East. And we scheduled 2 hours. But we stretched it to 3 hours, and we received the wrath of this lovely lady for not spending as much time as we should in Guam. That's why we're spending 2 nights here today on this You know, inviting a politician to speak is sometimes a little on the chancy side. In a small town back home in Missouri, there was a race for the county collector, and the 3 men running for the race in the primary, and they all won the votes of this large rural church. And they were invited to come to the church and to address the congregation. Well, they came to the church on one Sunday morning, and the minister said, what we're going to do, rather than let you speak, I'm going to ask each one of you a question. And the congregation will decide who they will support based upon the answer to your question. He turns to politician number 1, and he said, assume you're lying in your casket, and a passerby walks by and looks down on your remains. What do you want that passerby to say? The first politician says, I want that passerby to say, he was a good man. He turns to the second politician. You're lying there in your coffin, and a passerby comes by. What do you want that passerby to say as he looks down on your body? The second politician said, I want you to say, he was a family man. He turns to the third politician. He said, you're lying there in your coffin, and a passerby walks by and looks down